Welcome to the brand new Draymond Green Show YouTube channel. Hit subscribe so you don't miss out on any of our content. The 2024 NBA draft has concluded, and the number one pick was Zach Edey, second pick in a row from France to be, second number one overall pick from France. Only the fourth, I think, in history. There's that, and everybody's like, oh man, France and Europe is taking over the NBA. And it did seem that way in that draft last night and today. But might I remind you, y'all said this was the weakest draft in recent history. So don't tell me France is taking over the NBA but because they had so many players drafted this year, or that international, overseas, however you want to categorize it. Don't tell me that they're taking over the NBA and they're far more superior in the NBA because they had a lot of players drafted. And what even before the draft started was kind of dubbed as the worst draft for the last 15 years. The superstars of the NBA and the non-superstars that are from Europe and the superstars from America and the non-superstars from America, it's not even close. The non-superstars, like the non-superstars from Europe and the non-superstars from America isn't even close. Like, actually isn't even discussion. So that also plays a part in who's superior and all this. You get like the talking heads like, oh, I'm telling you, the U.S.-born players better watch out because Luka is once in a generation. That's why all his stats, line up to bronze this thus far in the career. Like, he's once in a lifetime, for sure. Joker, Giannis, for sure. But you got to go through the whole body of work. And so I'm looking forward to that. Please stop with they're taking over the league and at the same time saying it's the worst draft in recent history, because those two things they don't make sense. If I had to say who won the draft to me was the Minnesota Timberwolves. And the reason the Minnesota Timberwolves won the draft is because they drafted their point guard of the future in Rob Dillingham, who I think is a very special player who some of those teams at the top of the draft were afraid of because he got swag and he got game, and they don't know if his game is going to fit into their systems that don't work and get them fired. When you can just get a really good player who can score the basketball, Steph Curry, and figure out how the system works for him, and then all of a sudden the franchise is in territory that it's never been in before. But, at times we run into these guards with swag that they just don't fit in the system. And so teams run away from them. And there's going to be some teams that's going to regret passing Rob Dillingham because he's the best pure scorer in that draft. He wants to be a great pro. If you talk to the young man off the court, great young man, but y'all probably don't know that because you just judge by how he bounced around the court in this game. Very smart young man. Looking for the game, want the knowledge. And now he about to go play behind Mike Conley, a young Anthony Edwards who he's about to be running mates with for the next 10 years. And I'm just not sure many backcourts going to want to see him and Ant-Man. Good luck. So with him, and then Jaren Jackson Jr., who had an incredible 2 years at Illinois after leaving Texas Tech, goes and have an incredible career at Illinois, falls in the draft because he gets lied on. Then he falls in the draft. Everybody run away from him. Minnesota sitting right there. 27, we'll take him. Guess what? Because the way Minnesota's roster is right now, he may help Minnesota next year more than Rob. Because he's a big wing, can shoot the ball, can get downhill, get to the free throw line, and he can check. And when you got big wings that can check in this league, Jaden McDaniels, they play. By the way, they make a lot of money. So Minnesota won the draft to me. Look what they just did. After coming off of Western Conference Finals, Look what they just did. I like it. Got to give Tim Connolly a lot of credit. He keep doing special things. And listen, I'm a tough critic. You got to do special things over and over again for me to be like, wow. And I've always respected Tim because you see the work he's put in, but he just continues to snatch more and more respect. Like, continues to snatch more and more respect. Because what he just did in that draft, like, he couldn't have nailed those 2 picks better. So Minnesota won the draft to me. And quite frankly, Minnesota didn't need to win the draft. But they won the draft. And that's a team that's poised to try to compete for a championship, and you got to respect it. Got to respect that. So shout out to Minnesota. As a 12-year NBA veteran, recovery is very important to me. As I continue to get a little older, the body just doesn't bounce back the way it used to. So I'm a big fan of Hyperice, especially their Normatec boots. What's great about the new Normatec Elite is that they ditched all the extra hoses and control units from the old model. This one is fully self-contained with a small set of buttons to select your compression level. Super easy to travel with and to get set up after a hard workout or a big game. On top of that, the Normatec Elite packs 4 hours of battery life. That's enough juice to get full leg compression cycles in before games, after games, and even on the plane. And don't get me started on the tech inside this thing. Hyperice has been pioneering recovery science for years, and the brand new Normatec Elite takes it to another dimension with 7 different compression levels to choose from. But it's not just for pro athletes. Everyone can get their hands on these to help with recovery, increasing circulation, and reducing swelling in the lower body. Shop all your warm-up and recovery needs at Hyperice.com. Use code Draymond for 15% off your order today. Exclusions apply. I think Zach Edey at number 9 was a great pick by the Grizzlies. And the reason I think so is because the Grizzlies need a center. They have to have a center. Jaren's not a center. Jaren's a power forward. And when you allow Jaren to roam with a great rim protector behind him, Jaren is going to be right back in the Defensive Player of the Year rankings next year because he's going to be able to do what he's special at, get weak side blocks, roam around, plug. And that's going to be great. And he don't have to worry about being the main rim protector. And that's going to unlock Jaren defensively again. Zach, I also think for the Grizzlies, it's a low risk, high reward pick. I think it's a very low risk, high reward pick because quite frankly, kid, what did he win? Back-to-back National Player of the Year? Like, nobody's judging you for taking him with the 9th pick. Like, nobody's like, oh, you shouldn't have. Like, Edey's kind of that secret in the draft, or not necessarily secret, but he's kind of that unknown, I would say, in the draft of where, like, you don't know if his size is going to translate. Like, do he move well enough? Quite frankly, I think what he does is going to translate. But, like, bigs in the NBA today is going back to that. Is it not? Like, but if it does and you get him and he pan out, you look great. And you pair him young. You get 4 years on a low contract with now Jaren making the big money and Ja making the big money and Desmond making the big money. So I like that pick a lot. I like that pick a lot for the Grizzlies. I think he'll be ready to go right now. Senior, played for Matt Painter in the Big Ten, physical, gonna be tough. Gonna know his stuff because we from the Big Ten, that's what we do. I like the pick. I like that pick a lot, and I think that pick is going to be huge for the Grizzlies, and not many people is talking about it, but I really like that pick.
Get ready for a great night of fights. UFC 303. It can be even bigger if you sign up. You know it doesn't take long. To the DraftKings Sportsbook app, the official sports betting partner of the UFC. You know, make it simple. Go to DraftKings, select a fighter, place your first bet. DraftKings, new customers, all you have to do is bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets instantly. Okay, so you just download the app now. It takes 90 seconds. Do it on your phone. It takes 90 seconds. Put in the code Colin. That would be me, COLIN. And there you go. $5, you get $150. That's a pretty sweet deal. DraftKings, only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Have a great summer.